When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Look, only one of two things are possible, okay? You wanted this bank money, so you went ahead and even though the terms were not what she wanted, you filled out something else and forged your signature. Or she deliberately wrote her name without an R.
This is the plaintiff, Letitia Murphy. She says she bought a car from the flim-flam defendant, who ended up illegally forging her name on some documents with a bank, and she reported him to the Department of Consumer Affairs. The car he sold her and the terms of the loan are all wrong. She wants out of the deal and demands the return of her $1,500 deposit, because she was most definitely wronged. This is the defendant, Lewis. He says this whole lawsuit's downright funny because the plaintiff is saying she returned the car to the bank. The deal she made with the bank for the loan on the car has absolutely nothing to do with him. All he knows is the plaintiff gave him a deposit on the car a year ago. It's non-refundable, and he doesn't have the car anymore. The bank does. He's accused of fudging a contract.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Letitia Murphy?
Yes.
You are suing Lewis. You've asked us just to refer to you by your first name and to not mention the name of your company. You have a used car lot?
Yes.
Okay, Lewis and his used car lot for $1,500, a down payment on a car that you paid him for, that according to you, you surrendered because the terms were all fraudulent. Tell me what happened.
I purchased the 2002 GMC Envoy from the defendant in October 15th of 2011. At the time of purchase, he did not provide me with a copy of the contract that I signed. He told me that his copy machine was not working and that I can get a copy of the contract if I came back the following Monday. This was a Saturday. So I went back to the dealership, and he stated that the bank required the original documents and that he sent them to the bank and that he did not keep a copy. So I consistently called him for a copy of the contract. Then he told me I had to get a copy of the contract from the bank. I called the bank and I got a copy of the contract. The bank told me that they would, I should have gotten one from the dealer, but they'll send me one. So they sent me a copy of the contract. When I received the copy of the contract, I noticed that several things was wrong on the contract. The interest rate that I agreed to was incorrect.
What had you agreed to?
I agreed to 19%.
And what was the interest rate?
24.49. I also agreed to 36 months on the contract. And when I received this contract, it had 45 months on the contract. Also, there was a part about a warranty on the contract. And on the contract, I never agreed to any warranty. And on the contract that I received from the bank, it actually has the dealer's initials, not my initials, agreeing to the contract.
Agreeing to the warranty?
The warranty, yes.
What about the signature on the contract?
The signature on the contract was not my signature as well. I didn't sign this contract. I recall signing a contract, but it wasn't this contract. Even the contract that I received from the bank, in the signature, in my last name is missing an R. And
it's missing a letter?
Yes.
Okay, let me see the contract that the bank told you here. Here's your contract that you signed. And let me see, do you have your purse with you?
Yes.
Pull out any ID that has your signature on it.
Thank you.
When you get this from the bank, what do?
I first contact the bank to let them know that this is not my signature on the contract and the contract is not valid. Then I contacted Mr. Lewis and I told him that the terms on the contract wasn't what we agreed to, and also that the signature on the contract is not my signature.
And what did he say?
He said that he didn't make any alterations to the contract, and he said that I wanted my monthly payments to be $250, so they had to raise the amount of months.
Without telling you?
Apparently so, because I had my witness here have him sign, because we didn't receive any other documentation, I had him sign this payment coupon saying that the terms was 36 months for the $253.05.
Let me see. Who's your witness? Your boyfriend?
Yes.
Come on up. Yeah, but this is just something written here in handwriting that.
Yes, but
okay, Yeah, I don't know how you buy a car like this. You know, it's such a red flag. I mean, do you have a phone?
Yes.
Does your phone take pictures?
Yes.
Okay. I'd sign it and then photograph what I signed at a minimum so that I have some record. But if there's such a fugazi place that they tell my copier doesn't work, that's when I turn around and hightail it to another place. It's crazy. So, but what ends up happening? Now you have, because what happens is when you apply for financing, the finance company pays them in full for the car, right?
Correct.
And then you've now got the payment deal with the lien holder, that's the bank. You make your complaints to him. He says, it's what you signed, I didn't do anything else. You then make your complaints to Consumer Affairs for the state of New York, to where else?
The Department of Motor Vehicles.
And to the bank itself.
Yes.
And in the meantime, you just keep paying your monthly payment.
That's correct.
And at some point, the bank actually settles with you.
Yes.
And they take back the car,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
And they give you back every penny of what you paid.
That's correct.
Okay, with an understanding that it's a settlement and nobody's agreeing to liability on either part, but they just want you to go away and they want the complaint to go away.
Right.
They don't want to be part of something that may or may not be fraud. So they pay you back. So you got to drive the car for free for how many months?
10.
Actually, not for free, because you gave him a $1,500 down payment.
That's correct.
You're trying now to be able to drive the car for free and get back that $1,500 down payment.
That's
so that
correct.
you could have that car for 10 months, drive it for 10 months without paying anything.
Yes.
It sounds bad when I say it, right? Okay, but now let's talk about that, because I'm looking at the paperwork. Do you have any paperwork for
Yes.
this transaction? Show me the paperwork you have.
Sure.
Because I want to see anything with her signature on it. Because I got to tell you, I got a little bit of a worry.
That's okay.
Because I have now like 5, 6, 7, 8 different examples.
You're gonna have more right now.
I'm talking. I have now 5, 6, 7, 8 examples of how she signs. She signs extremely deliberately, extremely curvy, and has a very distinctive dip to her Y. And everything I see of your place that has her signature is not like that and is missing a letter. I may sign, you know, with a little bit of variation every time I sign, but I don't forget the letters of my name. I don't put Muffy instead of Murphy. So what's going on?
I have no idea what's going on with her signature because I did not sign the contract. I have no reason to sign her contract. If I signed the contract...
let me just proffer a few reasons. Yeah. You want to make a sale. You want the bank to pay you. You want to sell a $1,700 warranty that the bank will pay you because it's being financed. And you want Ms. Muffy to take a car on any terms because then you get paid by the bank. That would be an incentive.
The bank
Do you
doesn't
understand
pay
when you so stop? So when you say I have no reason to, you realize that that's completely false. You may not. You can tell me you didn't, but you can't tell me there's no reason to.
There is no reason for me. No. That's not going to make me sign someone's contract. All the reasons you just stated,
fine, but
that
there
may be
is
someone
an
else's incentive, but not
for
mine.
an unscrupulous thief to forge it, because then
Possibly
all of a
for
sudden,
someone else.
then I understand what you're saying, but you understand what I'm saying, right?
Sure.
Because then little Ms. Murphy, who you might think, isn't going to pursue it. She's just happy she has a $250 payment without thinking ahead, like a lot of people, frankly, don't. Mm-hmm. Well, this one apparently thinks. So let me ask you.
Yes.
Do you remember the actual transaction?
Yes. Okay, Miss Murphy and her boyfriend did come in. When we first went over the payments, they were more than what she wanted to do, which we did say was going to be 36 months. If she wanted it to be at the payment where she wanted it to be, which would happen to be $253, she said she could afford, we had to adjust the terms of the contract, make it longer with a higher percentage rate. That's what the bank agreed to, because Miss Murphy's credit score wasn't that great, so that's why it was also a high percentage rate. She knew all this, and I gave her paperwork when she left.
Okay, let me see. Did you hand me your paperwork?
Yes.
Okay, hold on one second.
That's the extended warranty that we agreed to.
Have you seen the difference in signatures?
I did not see any other copies besides mine.
Well, even in the documents that you give me, in the retail certificate of sale, that's one signature, and here it's a totally trembling different signature.
I know that my office, where we do our transactions in my office, is very small. Her boyfriend was sitting on one side of the desk, and she was signing it practically in the air. Whether she's trembling when she's signing it, I don't know.
Look, only one of two things are possible, okay? You wanted this bank money, so you went ahead, and even though the terms were not what she wanted, you filled out something else and forged your signature. Or she deliberately wrote her name without an R with some elaborate plan in mind of one day being able to succeed against the bank and get them, because I can't believe the bank did this, and to return all her money, and she goes around town, from town to town pulling this scam.
Right.
Those are the only two things that are possible.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Would you ever say, oh, yeah, the copier doesn't work, just mail me a copy later? Would you ever do that?
I would not do it. I would insist on a copy if they didn't have it, and I had already signed it. I'd probably call the police.
What would you be so suspicious of?
Well, one thing, I feel that they're not honest, first of all.
They said the copier didn't work.
Yeah, well, still, that's he's trying to make money. So if he gets a person to sign the contract...
You're just not a real trusting person, are you?
No, I'm not.
Well, that's good. That's good, actually, going inside the courtroom.
I don't have a criminal case in front of me where it's beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. I have a civil case in front of me where I have to decide if there's a preponderance of the evidence in her favor. Is it more likely than not that this is not her signature? And I got to tell you, I think it's more likely than not that this is not her signature.
That's your opinion.
Yeah, it is my opinion. It is my opinion. It is my opinion.
Yeah, it is.
And guess what? The only thing that's important in this courtroom when I'm ruling is my opinion.
And that's why we're here. But
that's right. So the next thing that's going to happen is you're going to hear more of my opinion.
That's fine.
Fine. So stop talking, because now I'm going to shove my opinion down your throat. I am looking now at like 20 different examples of this lady's signature. In none of them does she forget how to spell her name. In none of them is there a shaky hand.
I didn't even see what she forgot her name.
No.
What signature was it?
You stop talking and you listen. In none of them is her handwriting shaky like that. Not a single one.
You just said there's
the
5 of them
only
in all.
one that it's like that, not even in your other documents. In your other documents, when she signs for the certificate of sale, it's her normal signature.
Where is she missing an R?
The only thing that's fishy is the one where the terms are changed.
That's not true.
Where she buys the warranty and the terms are changed. Those are the only two places. The warranty doesn't even worry me. It's the signature on the change of terms.
Can I see this change of terms where you're saying that she's
you're
missing
going to see
an R?
all of it after I get
not.
off the bench, because I'm done. You can stick a fork in me now. I'm done. Okay? The only money, because the interesting part is the bank didn't even go after you for the $5,000.
No.
Right, because they have the car, so they're just going to call it, they're going to just sell the car and cut their losses.
Exactly.
But the only penalty for you, if I find that there's something fishy here, is that $1,500. So even though I think that you end up with a bonanza, I'm more concerned that he not. And I am ruling in your favor in the amount of the deposit, $1,500, pay the lady.
See what the defendant has to say coming on. You got a couple of minutes for a comment here?
All right, so what's your reaction to the outcome of this case? It looked a little flim-flammy.
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny how you could give someone a car for 1 year and they return them all their money. I mean, I didn't know that you could drive cars around in New York City and not pay for anything.
Well, she's presenting evidence that makes it look like something happened here.
Right. She could look like it, but nothing happened. She knows she signed it. There's like 10 signatures that she signed, not just one.
Mm-hmm. All right, head right around the corner like that. The man's sticking to his guns all the way to the end. So come on in here. Tell me how you feel about the outcome here.
Great.
What do you think happened here?
He's actually a thief, and the judge saw it, and everyone else now sees it.
Mm-hmm. Took a lot of gumption on your part to fight this all the way through like that.
Yes.
With the bank, with him, with everybody.
Yes.
How do you feel right now?
I feel great.
Okay. All right, Harvey.
Okay, you know, a lot of times you need a handwriting expert to prove your case, but in this case, the differences were so extreme that the judge could do it on her own, no problemo. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
The road to the NBA Finals ends here, with star guard setting the tone. The Cavs eye another upset, while the Knicks carry the dreams of all of New York. The Eastern Conference Finals continue on ESPN and ABC.
Experience a membership that backs your business journey with American Express Business Platinum. When you pay with membership rewards points for all or part of an eligible flight booked with a qualifying airline through Amex Travel, you can get 35% of those points back, up to 1 million points back per calendar year. American Express Business Platinum. There's nothing like it. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum.
These are the plaintiffs Nicole Postel and Margaret Borriello. Nicole says the defendant, her ex-boyfriend, was supposed to split the cost of a rental car and hotel when they attended an out-of-town wedding together. She can't believe the guy's stiffing her now that they've broken up. She feels like she wasted 5 years of her life on the loser and is suing the cad for the $1,000 she's owed. This is the defendant, Scott Snowden. He says he and the plaintiff broke up a month before the wedding, but then got back together right before the wedding and they attended as a couple. Shortly after the wedding, the plaintiff broke up with him via text and then started making all these demands for money from him. Bottom line, the plaintiff is acting like a spoiled child, isn't entitled to any money from him, and he's pretty sure the judge will agree. He's accused of singing the wedding day blues. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $565 for travel expenses he incurred.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Nicole Postel?
Yes.
And Margaret Borriello?
Yes.
You're suing Scott Snowden?
Yes.
For $1,000 in damages that you say, in money that you say he owes you for a trip. Ooh, and most of it is pain and suffering. And you've got a counterclaim against her for $565 because now that she's suing you for a trip, you want to sue her for all the trips when you went to visit her. You two used to date, correct?
Yes.
For how long?
5 years.
Well, that's a long time. How old are you?
Now?
Yeah.
25. Sorry.
Right. Yeah, because it depends on what part of your life, whether it's really a long time or not. How long have you been broken up?
Since July.
So what happened?
Well, one of our sorority sisters got married in Boston.
Which sorority?
Alpha Delta Epsilon. And her wedding was in Boston. I was a bridesmaid, and I asked Scott if he wanted to go. They really wanted him to be there. We're all close friends in undergrad, and he said yes. So,
well, who else would you take?
Right.
So it was either him or nobody, right? He was your boyfriend at the time, or no?
Yes.
Okay.
So we planned to meet down there in Boston. We each took a flight.
Where were you living at the time?
I was living in Buffalo.
So you're living in Buffalo, and he's living where?
Amityville, home with his family.
Okay. All right, so go on.
He decided, yeah, we were going to go to take the trip. I asked him, do you want to share a hotel room and get a rental car together? He said, yeah, sure. So I put that on my credit card because at the time he wasn't working. So the total came to like $600.
And what was the discussion about whether he would pay you or not?
I postponed that because
did you discuss when or if he'd pay you?
Not at the time, no.
Well, then why are you saying that it's a loan?
Because after we took the trip, we were planning to move in together. So he said if he was going to pay this amount for the security deposit for the hotel or for the apartment, he couldn't afford to pay me back yet. And I said that was fine.
Okay, but was the understanding when you paid for the entire hotel room and the entire car, was the understanding that you would split it?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I want to hear. What made you come to that understanding, as opposed to that you're buying it as a gift for him?
That wasn't a gift.
Yeah, that's because that's going to be his defense, right? You're going to say, I'm not supposed to pay that.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. This may be your first rodeo, it's not mine.
Right.
So tell me what discussions you guys had about who's paying for what and how it's going to get paid back and all that other stuff.
Well, at the time when we were talking about it, when I put it on my card, I asked him, I was like, are we going to split this? And he said yes. He also talked to Margaret and said that she even had conversations with him.
Okay, why is Margaret plaintiff?
We were living together.
I was supposed to be a witness, but
No, you're not a plaintiff. He doesn't owe you money, does he?
No, he doesn't owe me anything.
I'm
I was
just
just a
missing
witness.
that case, and it's just
Yeah,
between
it's
the
just
two of
between
them.
them two.
You're here as a witness.
Yes,
so
I was just told I had.
What did you witness? Did you witness any discussions between the two of them?
I witnessed their phone conversations. I've also witnessed the breakup. When they did break up for that minor time frame, I actually called Scotty and said, are you okay? Because I was friends with him.
Why did you guys break up?
The long distance, like, we
It's a
didn't
drag.
see each
How
other.
long did you date each other long distance?
2 years.
2 years?
2.5. I
Two
think,
and a
at least.
I know we graduated. And
Is she
then,
like really involved in the relationship?
I got dragged into the
What?
relationship.
Yes, as a matter of fact.
As a matter of fact,
She was part of the reason that we got together.
Oh, yeah?
And she was always around Nicole and I. However, during our relationship, I was really just dating Nicole.
yeah, I got it. But I'm glad you clarified that. But what I wanted to know is the two of you were friends.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
That was
Why did you
working.
guys break up?
We broke up because what happened was I decided that it wasn't going to be feasible enough for me to move up there because I wasn't going to have the finances. After that, we argued through text message, email, all throughout this entire breakup before we got to this point. And at that point, I asked her, how much was it for? She, through text message, gave me 3 different amounts that increased. One was $306.23, one was $326.23, one was $346.23. And I said, wait, okay, these amounts don't seem to make any sense. So I asked her for copies of receipts or a redacted copy of a credit card statement, and she refused to give them to me. As a matter of fact, I have a text message here, if you'd like to see.
Yeah, let me see the text
The bottom one
messages. Do you have your
highlighted.
phone with the text messages?
Yes.
With the text messages
Yes.
to him? Bring that up.
Okay.
can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
What were you going to say?
With that text message about him asking about
Why'd
the
you give him
documents,
different amounts?
Initially, it was high, and then I took it down.
Oh, is that accurate that the amount went down?
No.
All right, well, we'll just see. Who's mom?
I forwarded a text message to my mom. She's actually here because at the time what happened was I was getting so many text messages and phone calls from her job and a private number that I actually had to change my phone number, and that lost all my text messages. However, my mom just so happened to have had them because I sent them to him at the time when the text message.
Why are you sending your mother your girlfriend's text messages?
At the time, I also have an email when we were planning on moving in together. She sent my mother an email. I didn't tell her what to say. I just said, since you can't be here at the moment, why not just send her an email? Because I know she was working at the time. I wasn't going to ask her, come on down here because my mom wants to see you. She sent an email. I have the email here that she sent to my mom about her intentions when we moved in together. So my mom was kind of roped into this because
What does that have to do with you sharing with your mother every single email, text that your girlfriend sent? You got mommy issues. Listen, how old are you?
25.
Thank you.
You're too old to have mommy issues.
Do long-distance romances work?
I don't think so.
Why not?
The whole point of being in a relationship is like being with that person. So if they're far away, how's that going to work?
Everybody buy that? Everybody agree with that?
I agree.
Okay, well, I want somebody new here. What do you think?
I think it really depends on if you actually love that person. If it's like a new relationship and you guys make it long distance, I think it'll definitely make it hard for each
What do you think? Yay or nay?
Nay.
Because?
I think it's hard to be far away from someone and make it work out.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
I see, from what I did see there, you're asking her how much is it, and you're agreeing to pay. That doesn't sound like she was going to cover you.
At the time, I said, okay, I will try to get you some money back, because at that time I started working, but I was only underemployed.
So why is she writing this long email to your mother about her intentions?
When she sent the email, okay, I had a discussion with my family. I thought about it again, and then when I realized that the finances and everything just wasn't going to be feasible.
Yeah, but did you tell her, did you suggest to her that she should talk to your mom about, because your mom wasn't happy about the idea of you moving?
Yes, and she did. She did speak to her on the phone. As a matter of fact, shortly after she sent the email, she called my mother.
Yeah, the next day.
Okay, and how'd that work out, Mom? Mom, why don't you come up? I'm just kind of jealous because I am, because I think it's really nice that you have a son who cares so much about what you think. So it's not entirely healthy, but I think it's kind of sweet.
I know it's not entirely healthy, believe me.
You probably both know, and you're codependent.
Believe me, I'm looking forward to the empty nest. That's
okay,
I thought I was supposed to
Well, you're not going to get it this way. If he sends you every text his girlfriend sends him, you're not going to get it this way.
I know I'm not going to get it this way.
Okay.
My thing is that it came out of left field.
The idea of him moving.
Of him moving. And he graduated in December of 2009.
Right.
I've been sitting watching him literally stall for 3 years, me screaming and yelling, throwing clots, you name it. Could you please go to school? Get this, go do this. Do you want to be a teacher? So get your GPA up. Apply to this school, apply to that school, go here, do that. Just go ahead. I want to see you move forward with your life. That's what I want to see you do. Go ahead and get it done. Then next thing I know, I hear, I'm going to move to Buffalo. I'm like, you're underemployed downstate. I said, their unemployment rate up in Buffalo is higher than it is down here. So can you explain to me how in the world you're going to go in on a lease where she's going to expect you to pay half the expenses with no money? I said, believe me, take it from me. Love is lovely. No money there, out the window, gone. Okay?
Okay, I'm going to start sending her all the texts that come to me, too. Because now I can see why he likes her advice and worships her advice, because she's kind of right about every single thing she said. She might have done you a huge favor.
Yeah.
You may not realize it, but she might have been doing you a huge favor, because you're in love with him and you don't see the financial blocks, but a grown-up does, because we've all been through it already.
Right.
You know?
I understand that.
All right, but in any event, go ahead and have a seat, Mom.
Thank you.
You and I will have a cappuccino later. Listen, what is your defense to the lawsuit? I understand what your defense might be to the $653.77 of pain and suffering. What the heck's that about? You're just trying to get your lawsuit to $1,000?
No.
Oh, really? Because I can't help but notice that's how you did it. But tell me what that is. What is your pain and suffering? Somebody owes you money?
No, the fact that because he didn't move, I didn't have a place to stay, I had to give up my job.
Do you seriously think that that's what courts are in business for? To make people pay people because they break up?
No.
Okay, so you can't possibly think that that's a serious lawsuit. That portion of your lawsuit is completely bogus.
No.
Okay, so now let's discuss your counterclaim against her, because I haven't heard a single defense on the actual expense of the Boston trip. Now you have counterclaimed against her half of all of your travel expenses that you've ever spent in 5 years to go visit her.
I'm suing because she's
because you got sued. Nanny boo boo. That's why you're suing. Okay. Well, you can't possibly think that I'm going to grant your request there either.
Right.
Okay. Here's what it is. It's either a gift or a loan. And if you're supposed to pay her back, then you got to pay her back. And I can see from the text that you're supposed to pay her back. You're only here because you refused to pay the whatever amount it was, $306.23. It's actually less than all those figures. I don't know why she kept. You know, if you had been less messy, this would have been less messy.
Right.
The amount is $306.23 plus prejudgment statutory interest in your state plus your filing fee. That is my verdict. On your counterclaim against her, 0. Go your own ways. Be happy and fruitful and multiply much.
Well, the defendant owes the money and the defendant will be paying the money. So what's your reaction to the verdict here in court?
To be perfectly honest, I am okay with the verdict because I just wanted it to be over with. I moved on to my life. I moved on with, somebody new, things better. I'm happy for myself, my family that it's over with, and hopefully one day she can move on too.
Okay, that sounds good. What about moving on so your mom can have some privacy?
You know what? That's a pretty good idea. And you know what? I think I'm going to do that as well.
The time has come.
I like the way you think. I really do. I love my sons. Yes, but it's been 25 years.
We understand. Yeah. Okay, just head right around the corner this way. Okay, good luck with everything. All right, so come on in here, and so you collect some. Are you satisfied with what you come out with here?
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad that it's over. I'm glad I got my money back.
What about what you lost in that relationship?
It's a life lesson. I'm glad that it's over.
What was the lesson?
To be.
You still have feelings for him?
No.
No.
After everything that happened, no.
But you did it one time. You loved him?
Yeah, I did.
You're over him?
About there, yeah.
All right. Harvey?
There is a presumption that when somebody gives money or whatnot to somebody else, that it's a loan. It has to be very clear it's a gift if it's a gift. And we'll do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
People are full of surprises, especially when you travel together. Thankfully, Vrbo is not. When you book a Vrbo, you get Vrbo Care and 24/7 live support, so your house doesn't surprise you like your friends might. If something's not as described or doesn't work, Vrbo's there. Real people, real support, anytime. Book today on the Vrbo app. If you know, you Vrbo. Terms apply. See vrbo.com/trust for details.
This is the plaintiff, Thomas Hengen. He says he bought a Sub-Zero refrigerator from the defendant. It had a leak in the condenser, and a repairman told him it is not repairable. The deceptive defendant led him to believe it was in good working order, knowingly unloaded a piece of junk on him, and he's suing for the $1,750. He's out. This is the defendant, Robert Eccles. He says he told the plaintiff he never plugged the Sub-Zero in and wasn't responsible for whether it worked or not. He bought the thing off a job he was doing. It was in his garage for 2 years, and the plaintiff knew he was buying a $7,000 refrigerator for only $800 and took a chance. He's accused of being lukewarm. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $800 for loss of work and gas.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Thomas Hengen, you're suing Robert Eccles for $1,750?
Yes.
That you say you are out as a result of him selling you a defective refrigerator. You are counterclaiming against him. How much? $800?
Yeah.
Okay, gentlemen, what happened? Thank you, sir.
Towards the beginning of November, my refrigerator started acting up, and I realized I'm going to need one soon. So I went on Craigslist to try to find a used refrigerator. I wanted the stainless steel front, so I went with, called Robert Eccles, and he also had agreed to deliver the refrigerator to my door, which was a plus, so I agreed to buy his refrigerator.
Okay.
I was insistent on, when I was having a conversation with him, just making sure it was a working refrigerator. That's all I asked. And he led me to believe that it was working.
How? What did he say?
He just told me, he said he had it operational before.
Okay, he had it operational how long before?
He didn't tell me. Also, I have a tendency to believe that he had it installed at a job that he was doing, because the picture that he has on Craigslist, the background sheetrock there's some tape and spackle on it, so I believe it was probably at a job, might not have been working so well, and he decided to get rid of it.
Well, you're just making that part up.
Yeah, well, you could...
Surmising. All right.
Yeah.
So what happens? He brings the refrigerator over. Don't you test it?
Yes, we did. So we brought the refrigerator over to my house. Now, with all refrigerators, everyone understands that it needs a certain amount of time, 24 to 48 hours, to let the refrigerator acclimate before it'll reach its final temperature. So we did plug it in. The temperature was in the...
Wait, everyone knows that what? Because I didn't know that.
Okay. When you purchase a refrigerator...
Right.
A new refrigerator, used refrigerator, you need to plug in the refrigerator and let it sit where it's going to be installed, because when there's Freon involved.
So then I have a very simple question. Did you know that before you bought this one?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so why didn't you just drive to where the refrigerator was, plug it in, and then for a day, and then you go that next day instead, and then you test it, and then you see whether it works, and then you buy it?
Yeah, he had explained to me that the refrigerator was now in his work truck, tied up in his work truck. So it needed to be moved anyway. It needed to be brought to the final, say, resting place of the refrigerator.
But if it needs to be tested for 24 hours before you know if it works. Why didn't you test it for 24 hours? Whether it's take it off the work truck, bring the work truck to a source. You know, I mean, there's things that could be done. I mean, either way, right?
Yeah, it's a very good point. To be honest, I didn't even.
All right, so what's wrong with this refrigerator? Were you trying to unload it because it doesn't work?
No, I bought this refrigerator off of a job. I'm a cabinet maker. And I bought it off the job from the builder.
Why was the person selling it?
They renovated their kitchen.
Oh, this is the one that had been in there. Well, where was this picture taken?
That was in my home.
Okay.
I bought it from my home.
Okay, but why is there like a wall in process right behind?
My kitchen was under renovation.
Okay. So did you have it in your kitchen?
Yeah.
And then what?
I never plugged it in. I explained to Tom that...
Wait, you never plugged it in from the job, ever? You never used this refrigerator?
Never did. I bought it as the future. When I'm done with building my cabinets, it was going to be my refrigerator.
Right.
I bought it as is from a builder. He said that
and
it
the
was...
cabinet maker has no cabinets?
I had no cabinets.
For how long have you had no cabinets?
It's been a while.
You live without a kitchen?
It's a makeshift kitchen, temporary.
Or do you live alone?
Now I do.
Yeah, I can't imagine why. All right, go on.
So I bought it from the builder. He said it was working prior to when he was selling the kitchen to the woman that we were doing the job for. So I took it under that it worked. It was fine. So I bought it, brought it home. Obviously, my kitchen's not done. I didn't want to use it. I already had a refrigerator. It was going to be for the future. So I put it in the kitchen up against the wall, and there it sat for about 2 years. I explained to him that I had never plugged it in. That was my future refrigerator. So in the beginning, how this whole thing...
I have a question. Why doesn't anybody test stuff before they buy? Am I like crazy or something? Like I would, especially if I had this like specialty knowledge that you have to wait 24 hours, right. I would insist plug the thing in. And was it on your work truck and therefore he couldn't plug it in?
No, he could have. He could have said to me, listen, I'll come tomorrow, plug it in tonight, you can come look at it tomorrow. I would have let him.
I just don't get why people don't do that. Why aren't people more careful? And then they're clogging up my court system, you know? So what happens? You plug it in for an hour, looks good to me, here's your money, goodbye. And then after the other 23 hours, it's not getting cold enough?
Exactly. I called up Robert Eccles. I explained to him that the refrigerator was not working properly. And he told me, oh, you bought it as is. And I said, listen, I kept on asking you. I said, all I want is an operational refrigerator. I must have said it 10 times. During this time, I had also speaking about my attorney about what my options were because I bought a refrigerator on Craigslist that wasn't working. And he told me you need to get 2 estimates to find out what's wrong with it.
What's wrong with it?
It's a coil condenser, and on sub-zero refrigerators, it's inoperable. It's a dead refrigerator.
Why can't you replace a coil condenser?
You know what it is? A refrigerator. It's a huge refrigerator. It's a top-of-the-line refrigerator. They just don't repair them. They don't repair the coil.
That's just not true.
Yeah.
I own Sub-Zeros all my life. I've seen how many times the repairman has to come out.
Yeah, I've spoken to 3 people, and they all tell me that a coil condenser.
Give me what you have.
I just have a letter here.
Give me whatever you have.
Sure.
To prove your case.
Your Honor, when I talked to him, he told me he got an estimate for $500 that it could be repaired for $500.
Oh no, that's not true.
Yeah, you know what? I have to tell you, I don't care if it can be repaired for $5 or $500. I care whether you made a warranty or you didn't. Mm-hmm. In other words, it's not up to you to decide. Just put a few more $100 into it. Either you gave him a warranty and told him guaranteed to him the thing was working, or you didn't because you told him, I haven't plugged it in 2 years. And, you know, when you buy a used item, like how much, you know, according to you saying all I want is an operational refrigerator and him telling you, it used to work 2 years ago, is a guarantee that it's going to work this moment without you taking the most minimal efforts. Where's the stuff about you got 2 estimates because your lawyer told you to?
I don't have the estimates. I had them. I didn't bring them with me. I apologize. But the person who sent the notarized letter there.
So wait, let me see if I've got this. Yeah. You've got proof that it is absolutely worthless and that you must get your money back, but you didn't bring it to court, even though a lawyer told you to go get it.
Tough luck for this guy.
Tough luck. I think if you buy anything secondhand, you do run the risk of problems with it.
Especially if you don't test it out properly.
Exactly right.
Okay, that's enough said. Going inside the courtroom.
What is your counterclaim about?
It's just time loss. He also...
Time loss what?
Today. And
Don't be silly. Why would you get $800 for being here today? Okay, no. On your counterclaim, 0. What about, let's see what you're suing for. $800 for the refrigerator, $500 for loss of food. Mm-hmm. I don't understand. You had the other refrigerator there. Why would you have any loss of food? You're still testing the refrigerator. Okay, vaya. It's always, all right. You're still testing the refrigerator to see if it works. It's hour 24 now. You see that it doesn't, but you lost $500 worth of food. Show me the pictures of $500 worth of food spoiled.
I'll show you 2 months of receipts of food bills.
Really? And a
Yeah.
guy might have that and eat the
Well, you
food
could
bill,
take
right?
that.
So that wouldn't be too
Stop and
probative.
shop.
All right. And then what else do we have, Mr. Liar? $250 for 2 estimates, $125 per estimate. Let me see the $125 for each of the estimates.
Those are the estimates.
No,
that
no,
told
I didn't ask you to flop your gums again. I'm asking you to prove your lawsuit.
As previously stated, I explained that I don't have those 2 pieces of paper.
So how do you expect to prove your case?
Well, he said he sold me a refrigerator.
No, besides repeating yourself, how do you expect to prove your case? All right.
Your Honor, also in the truck after...
Do you really think you need to talk anymore?
I really don't.
Then don't.
Okay.
Okay? I find in favor of the defendant and the plaintiff's claim against the defendant. I find you have absolutely nowhere any information that he guaranteed to you that this item would work like new. When you buy a used item, it is buyer beware. You know it's buyer beware. You even know exactly what you have to do, but you were too lazy to do it. Stop talking.
Okay, sure.
You're a liar about the loss of food. You're a liar about the estimates, and I want you to go away. And I'm finding in favor of the defendant. As for your counterclaim against him, which is equally ridiculous, 0.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so that's the end of this case for you, and so step on out here, your chance to comment on the outcome here.
I have to can't use profanity, right?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay. Is the judge out of her mind? First of all, she called me a liar. I have bills that show all my receipts, okay? I am livid. I drove all the way from Long Island, New York. I bought a refrigerator. The guy said the refrigerator worked, and now I'm stuck with a bogus refrigerator, and this is all nonsense.
Listen, you know the as-is rule, cars, objects like this.
His ad in Craigslist didn't say as is, didn't say anything like that. When you buy something on Craigslist, it's supposed to work, okay? Right. You know, it's not supposed to be, buyer beware.
Yeah.
It's not, well,
okay.
I've had a great deal of success, and she's out of her mind.
All right,
Call me
head
a
right
liar
down.
as well. She's,
All right.
you know.
All right, so step on in here. You stiffed him on the fridge, he thinks?
No, not at all.
What happened here? Why is he so upset? Why'd you get the guy so upset?
Because he bought something, he knows the way you buy used items. It's as is, and he's mad about it.
Yeah, well, he says you represented it as in better shape than it turned out to be.
You could read the ad. The ad says clearly there's nothing about it. It's a beautiful looking refrigerator. It just needs a little bit of work.
Yeah, your countersuit, not too cool.
Well, waste of time for me here today.
Harvey?
You know, when you buy something like this, you have a duty of diligence to test it out and realize what's in front of you. Now, if there was a warranty, this guy may have won. There was no warranty here. He didn't do due diligence, and that's why he lost.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.